Hi, I'm Lindsay Chamberlain, ECC Serve Globally Partner to Kenya, and I am here with Patrick Karanja, who is the Director of Youth Ministries here in Kenya for the ECCK. Patrick, will you please tell us what the ECCK is and what you do as the Director of Youth Ministries?
Okay, thank you. My name is Patrick Karanja. I serve and head the youth ministry of the Evangelical Covenant Church of Kenya. I'm their youth director, and what that means is that we are the youth arm of the Evangelical Covenant Church of Kenya. And so we've been serving with the youth for like since 2015 when I became the youth leader. And what that entails is that I'm like the overall in charge of the youth ministry, but I also work with other leaders in the church to execute issues that have to do with the youth. But what we do with the youth is that we organize for conferences together, we do youth vigils, we do mentorship programs, we do sometimes we do retreats, we do seminars for the youth. And when we talk about the youth, we are talking of the age maybe from teenage up to about 35 years. We have most of them that are not married, but we also have a few in there who are married, but they are just fine being in the youth ministry. So that's in a nutshell, yes.
Perfect. And so what we're doing here today is we are raising funds for a very specific youth program, which is called
The Ushauri Initiative.
the Ushauri Initiative. Patrick, would you please tell us a little bit about the Ushauri Initiative?
Now, Ushauri is a Swahili. It is a Swahili word meaning mentorship. It's more about giving advice. And the reason we chose this name is because we needed to give this name, the program that we're about to do, a name. And so we felt because it is a mentorship program where youth will be benefiting from people that have gone before them with mentorship and advice and maybe how to maneuver through life, we felt we should call it the Ushauri Initiative. So basically the Ushauri Initiative is a mentorship program that we are coming up with that is going to involve our youth in the ECCK, and maybe about 30 of them will come initially and be the mentors who are going to be trained to be mentors to other youth too. So that's it in a nutshell.
How many churches will be involved in this program? So we have 30 mentors, and how many churches and students will they be working with?
This program will have 30 mentors, or maybe we would call them trainees, who will be picked first and then they'll be inducted into this program. But we are also working with about 30 churches, 30 of our churches. So you can say it spreads across all our churches. I would say most of our churches are not so big. Some are, we call them fellowships. So we might not have people coming from those fellowships, but we could have churches that are near them producing some trainees who would be engaged in this training program. And the initial program will cover about the 30 youth, but then later we'll have about 5 youths assigned to each mentor, and then it's like a reproduction. So like in a year we'll have reached about 150. Yes.
And Patrick, why is this particular program, this style, this method so important right now?
When we were thinking about doing this program, we did a background check about our youth because we have been involved in several programs with them, and there's something that came up, and we thought it was important for us to start something that would actually impact their lives one-on-one, and that would be something luring out, so that it doesn't help just the initial ones that we pick, but it's something that touches so many of them after some time. And we thought most of our youth in Kenya, they lack mentors. You speak to someone at the age of 20, they have gone through a lot, and maybe sometimes they are going through a lot of stuff, a lot of changes in their lives. Maybe they've been able to go through teenagehood, and maybe they are not able to process some of the things that they have gone through. And so it happens, they will just do things on their own without maybe an input from someone who knows better, or someone who can maybe influence a decision here or there. someone who can help them maybe make a certain decision. So you find them trying to maneuver through that on their own, and sometimes the choices they make are not the very best choices. And also, for us to get people who are really grounded even in Christian values, you need people who have gone ahead of other people to be able to tell those behind them, this is the way it should be done, or this is the way to go. And so we felt maybe our youths need mentors, and when they also are mentored, they can also mentor other youths behind them. So it becomes more of a reproduction. Like it is something rolling. You can be sure if you mentor someone today, in the future they are going to be able to mentor somebody else.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to know, what are some of the specific topics or categories that your youths will be mentored on? Some of the areas of training.
We have so many areas of training, and maybe I could touch on some. We'll be doing things like personal spiritual development. We'll be doing things like financial literacy, decision making, drugs and substance abuse, youth and sexuality. Maybe just to touch a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all these different topics you're covering. What I'm wondering now is, why not just Bible verses? Why not just scripture?
Okay.
Why this approach, this holistic teaching?
When we talk about the holistic approach to this teaching, is that we want balanced youth. We want balanced people. And when I talk about balanced, what I mean is you have people maybe going through some foundational teachings about the Bible, memorizing Bible verses here and there, and maybe quoting the scripture, moving into prayer. You are able to do like Bible study. But then there are other issues or other aspects you need to look at. You can have someone praying all they can, but they have no literacy in finances. So when you give them money, they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to do any savings. Or maybe someone has a job, maybe they are earning, a youth is earning money, but they don't know how to really use their finances, and they end up embezzling most of it. So when we say we are giving it a holistic approach, is that it's not just the Christian, the biblical approach. There are also other things, maybe other realities that we need to look at also. Maybe issues like trauma, issues like prayer and art therapy. We need to also go into issues that affect them on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now we're going to talk money. Patrick, you need money to fund this program.
Yes.
The first thing you need to do is train the mentors.
Sure.
And then you want to implement this program amongst all those 30 churches and see it thrive. So how much do you need for the training? First dollars and cents, how much are we looking at?
For the initial training with the mentors, would need about $14,000 for us to be able to have this program rolling. And what that entails, or what is captured in this, is that would have these mentors travel from their respective churches and have them in one location so that they can be trained together. And that they would be accommodated in that location, and then you need to take care of their traveling expenses also, and also the expenses when they are in training. So for the initial training, you need about 14,000. But for the program to roll even later, after you have trained the initial group, we need another 14,000, and that would make us be able to reach out to those churches, even in the localities where we will not be able to personally go, but we can be able to send these mentors as our ambassadors. And so we'll have that program rolling, and then we'll be able to oversee how the program will be effected in all of our churches, and not just in our churches, even in the communities where our churches are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're following along and doing the math, in total, we need $28,000 US. But right now we're looking for an initial $14,000 so that we can get 30 mentors trained over how many days is the training?
We want to have them ideally for about 5 days.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so to cover all their expenses to come to the training site, feed them, and get them all well established in this curriculum so that later we can gain another 14,000 so that this can actually go into the churches, into the ministry, into the communities. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want the people to know?
Maybe what I feel about this program is that it is an idea in time. We are very much excited about this idea. We have never done this with the ECCK. I've been involved in mentorship programs somewhere else, and I saw the impact. So when I thought, and when we were sitting even with Becky thinking about this, we thought, why not bring this to the ECCK and maybe help the ECCK to also grow the youth ministry. And I think the impression and the impact it creates is just enormous. So we are just excited about it.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for sharing with us. And we hope that you will pray about this and really consider blessing this community with your financial gifts. Bye.
Thank you.